I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm playing through Leviathan Wilds. No particular reason, there's no current crowdfunding campaign coming up, not that I know of at least. I just wanted to play this game, and I figured it's a good chance to both play it, show you how the game plays, as well as give you my updated thoughts, because the last time I actually told you what I think about this game properly was when I covered the prototype way back when. Also, the game has actually changed since then, which is why I constantly did things like referring to it as a game that you had unlocks as you go, because the prototype that I originally played did, but the final game didn't. So anyways, gameplay and updated thoughts. If you just want my updated thoughts, go ahead and skip to the end. There'll be a timestamp to all of that. Outside of that, we're going to be playing through Fury. Fury is Leviathan number 9. There are 17 Leviathans in this book. I have played through a bunch of them. I honestly have not bothered going in order. I've jumped around. The only problem with that is I don't know if I will remember all the ones I played at by the time I actually make my way through all of them, but I'm pretty sure I have not played against Fury. I say that more distinctly because it's a giant raging bull, and I think I would have remembered that one. Some are more memorable than others. Anyways, going against Fury over here, my first time playing against Fury, so if I come up against anything that I do wrong, apologies for it. Outside of that, we're going to go ahead and read the introduction, then I'll loosely tell you what I'm doing and how to play, and then I'll just start playing and teaching as I go. Fury, introduction. Oh, this thing is ready to throw down. It was watching as we rounded the corner into its canyon. We came a step or two closer and it started snorting out smoke and stomping all around. The damn volcano on its back, oh yeah, it's got a volcano on its back, started hissing and sputtering. It's spoiling for a fight, and I'd sure hate to disappoint it. Oh, that's conclusion. We're not going to do a conclusion yet. Okay, so let's tell you what we're doing over here and then just walk through things. The basic idea is the Titans over here, these Leviathans, have these crystals on their back. We have to get rid of those crystals through striking those crystals. Mostly this is a game about balancing your economy. You have cards and you're trying to make sure you use your cards in order to do everything you need to do before you run out and die. Try not to die in this game. That's the basic idea. You see, you have your health over here and your corruption. You do not want those two to meet because then you are out of the game. As soon as any player is out of the game, that will trigger the other player having one more turn to get the job done, or the game is over and you lose. If you manage to reduce all these crystals to 0 and higher numbers are harder, then you'll win the game. That's the core idea as to what you're doing. But we'll go through the turn order and all those other things. The last thing I'll note before I start, I'll note two things, I guess. For those who know the game, I'm playing as Savvy as a Mender and Fix as a Magus over here. Basically, you combine a character with a ability deck, and that's how you build a unique combination of cards for your character. I'll also note, for those who play this game solo, there is a way to play this game more true solo, kind of merging two climbers together. I don't prefer doing that. I like playing it two-handed solo, so there is a difference the way I'm playing the solo compared to the way you're officially supposed to play it solo, just so that you know there is a different solo mode you can engage with. But with that said, let's go ahead and walk you through this, and we'll just walk you through a turn. You'll pick up pretty quickly. It's a pretty straightforward game. The rulebook's like 4 pages of what you need to know, then all the peripheral stuff that you will have to reference here and there. So, to that end, we are ultimately trying to make our way to these crystals and take them out. We have a lot of actions at our disposal. You'll see those going through, but I guess a few core ideas is you have moving, you have jumping, you have kind of a gliding downwards at a diagonal, which can be a very helpful way to get places fast. So often my tactic in this game is get high quickly and then move down as you need. You'll always have to pivot around what the game throws at you, but usually I go high and then move down. You also have the ability to straight up fall. You can let go at any point, and there are points in the game where you'll have to let go. When your deck runs out of cards, you lose your grip and you fall until you hit the next rest point. That's going to be these little areas here, where these are, and of course the ground as well. Those are rest points. You don't actually take damage from falling, but you do take damage from the various things you pass through. These red and yellow spots are bad for you. Try not to hit them, or try to hit them when you are appropriately protected. That's a good overview of what's going on, and with that, I think we're going to start with Savvy over here, because he has an ability that is generally pretty helpful to pass to his teammates. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start with the first thing. The steps of a turn are revealed over here. We have reveal threat, activate climber, resolve threat, draw 2/3. So we're going to reveal the first threat, and the first threat says closest to event is going to be +1 injury. Oh, we didn't talk about Fury. Fury has some things going on. Those are going to be, we'll kind of see them play out through his cards, but basically we have these tokens that are face down. We don't know exactly what's on them. You start with one here, and then you can also, various things are going to add them. So for example, we have the closest to event is going to get an injury. Fortunately, we do have our injury deck set off to the side over here, which I say fortunately because there's no reason to say fortunately, but this might give Injuries, that's not might. This will give injuries to climbers. That's a bad card to start off with. Oh, I'll also say I'm starting on normal. You can start on casual, which gives you a bit more time, or normal, which is going to start you off kind of the basic recommended, and then you have hard and expert, which are going to ramp up these cards faster. And I didn't want to do that because it's my first time playing against Fury. Anyways, in the resolve threat stage, we're going to go ahead and resolve this card over here, which is the closest person to event. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those A's are the events. The closest person to event is going to take an injury, but also we're going to Fury one, which means we're going to take a token and put it on. When you're on event, whenever you activate if you're on event, you can discard an active Fury token face down to the supply, limit once per turn. So getting to events is helpful to taking those cards off, which are going to effectively boil over and hit us. So with that said, we have our hand of 3 cards. I'm starting with Mender over here, or Savvy I should say. We have our hand of 3 cards. Once per turn, you discard a card to use its activation number over here, as well as its defensive aspects. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll walk you through everything else. So we're going to resolve this card over here. We're going to move up 4, and we have protection against yellow. Yellow causes us to lose grip, which means taking a card from the top card of your deck and discarding it, which will slowly mean that we'll have to fall at some point. It's a card economy. You want to time your falls when you have appropriate rest points or you're in trouble. So I think we're going to go up 4, basically. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're landing on that spot with a crystal, which means next turn we'll be able to address it. But also, we passed by this yellow spot, and we ignored it because we have this yellow on our card. Now, we also have these cards. You can use your other cards at any point to discard them for their abilities. We have this card, which lets us move in different directions, but I don't think we want to right now. And we have this card over here, which has the secure option, which I'll have to double check what secure does again. Secure is, it's on this page over here. Secure is when you lose grip, if the card is secure, place it in your hand instead of discard pile. Oh, fun. If the card you lose has secure, you put it in your hand. That's good to know. All right. And then we have strike 2 or strike 1 and place the Forester token on a non-open space. That might not be the worst option. That might not be the worst option, but we also have this one. We have this one we can do over here, or we could have done this. Oh, you know what? I'll hold on to this for now. All right, we're going to use this ability over here. After activating, place the Forester token on a non-open space, and when a climber enters the space, they may ignore the terrain and discard the token. So I set myself up accordingly over here. I'm going to drop this on this space, which means he can ignore that and then discard the token to climb an additional 1. Climb just means move in any orthogonal direction. So that's kind of my turn over there. I'm going to discard this card. This card's going to be off camera. I want to keep the main pile on camera, but this card will be below, a little off camera. Let's put it over here so you can kind of see it. Actually, no, I'm going to put it at the side of the deck because I think it looks cooler there. All right, we're going to put it over there. We're going to draw up to 3. Again, you can also discard cards if you want, by the way. I usually am not in a rush to do that right now, but there's definite points where the timing matters. But anyways, you can discard cards, drop to 3. This Ascend card over here could be very helpful to getting players wherever they need to go. Well, him wherever he needs to go. All right, now we resolve the threat. The player closest to an event is going to take an injury, and we're going to Fury 1, which means we add this token to this board. But we also have to add an injury to Mender over here. Mender has Annoying. The next Leviathan attack that targets another climber targets you instead, then remove this injury. Oh, that's not necessarily a bad thing, something to be mindful of, I should say. We're going to put it over here. It'll be a little off camera, but we have Annoying as an injury. The next thing that targets a climber will target us instead. Then we're going to go ahead and draw to 3, which we did already. So then we're going to resolve this over here. Fury. I should know, by the way, cards can be used on any player's turn, so you have that option. But now we do this one over here. This is going to be Fury 1, and the active climber, which means him, is going to lose a health. But because of Annoying, it's going to target Savvy instead. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at our cards. We have the highest one over here is Old Rusty, which both has secure, which can be helpful when we're discarding for grip, but also it has the most action points, which does kind of make me want to use that one. I could do that. I don't think it's crazy to do that. You know what? We're going to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Old Rusty for an action point. That's going to give us 4 action points over here. We're going to use our first action point to move up here. That's going to let us, we're going to ignore that spot and then also use it to move up 1, which means we have 3 more action points left. I think it's overkill. Do I even need that one? Maybe I won't do that one. You know what? No, we're actually going to use 3 action points. So we're going to use only 3 action points. We're going to use channeling, okay? So using channeling for our 3 action points. For the record, I'll be doing this a lot as we play, like rethinking my turn as we go. That's part of the experience. I have at least. So 3 action points. We started here. We went 1. We used the free climb boost and discarded that to go 2. Well, it's not yet 2. We're still at 1. Then we go 2 and 3. All right. So we are on that spot right now. which means we really, I think we only needed 3. Next turn we'll be able to take it out in a single shot, which is important because striking these crystals is one of the ways you move corruption against you. So that is as far as that goes. We also have these arcane tokens. That's part of the Magus ability, but it's not necessarily relevant just yet. So we're not going to worry about it too much at the moment. We are going to go ahead and resolve the threat. We're going to add a Fury token onto the card, and then we're going to do the negative health, but it's going to target Mender instead because of Annoying. Then we're going to discard Annoying, and that's done. We then go to refilling our hand. We refill our hand with a new card, and we have Dark Bargain. Ready 2 arcane tokens, +1, draw 2 cards. That's fun. Okay. Anyways, we're going to go ahead to the next player. We're going to reveal the next threat over here. Once we reveal the full line, that's when we accelerate, which you'll see how that plays out soon. Reveal Active Fury. Oh, that's not good. Okay, reveal Active Fury tokens. For each of different options, we're going to do bad things. So we're going to have that one, all players lose a health. Okay. We have the yellow, all players lose a grip, so we have to look at our grip to see if it has secure. It does not. What about this one over here? The secure does not, okay. And then we have the purple, no effect. Oh, that's nice. I like the purple one. Then we have to remix all of these into the supply, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle this around a bit and just try to shuffle it up without really paying attention to exactly what's where, and then push them back into a pile. Okay, that's that. That is, oh, technically, okay, I lied a little bit. That's not supposed to happen until step 3. I do that sometimes, but we remember. All right, so now we're going to go to step 2 over here, activate climber. We are going to utilize, we're trying to take this out over here. We could just use our ascend to just insta hit it, which is not the worst in my opinion, because anything better than that, we could strike 2, place the Farseer token on a non-open space. I don't think that necessarily helps me per se. I do like the idea of being on A, because then I can go ahead and discard an active Fury token, but we don't actually have any Fury tokens in place, so I'm not in a rush. So I think actually the right move is to use 5 and just insta-kill this. That way next turn I can move up to A and discard any Fury tokens to lower the effect they'll have. So we're going to discard 5, and we're going to, for the 5, that's going to represent all our points of damage. We're going to use all 5 to take out this die. If the die was 6, we would reduce it down to 1 instead. Now purple dice are easier, purple crystals are easier to get rid of, because purple crystals don't hit you back with corruption, as opposed to these other crystals, you really want to take them out in one shot when you're able to do so. So we're going to use our ascend. It's a pretty straightforward turn, nothing too crazy. We got 1 crystal off that back. We're totally fine. Things are going good so far. We are 1 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go. 1 out of 10 done. Alright, we are going to resolve the effect, which we already did. Oh, you see, that's the problem. Technically, I could have moved. This is the problem. I actually had the ability to mitigate how bad that last thing was, but I didn't, and now I'm going to pay that price myself. We're going to go to draw to 3 over here, and draw up to 3. We have 4, back on your feet. Okay. Then we are going to go to the next player's turn, back to Magus. We're going to reveal the card. We're not going to do it right away. This is affecting the active player over here. Okay, so we're going to put it on the active player, and it's going to -1 to all the players over there. So we're going to put this crystal where he is, which means when he moves, that will be helpful, because moving will prevent, if he moves, we won't necessarily have to deal with it. Because -1 health, and then push 1, and if it misses, then Fury 1. Oh, so if he doesn't actually hurt us, he's going to increase his Fury. I might let him hurt us, mostly because I want to get rid of this crystal over here. So let's see what I can do over here, because I'd have to move out of their way to a decent extent, which I don't see a great way to do it. Any climber may gain 1, that, and can anchor. I could just choose to fall to ignore the effect, because I could fall through the open air to the ground. That's certainly a possibility, and that would ignore the effect, but it would increase Fury. And I'm not sure if it's that bad just yet. I might just take the damage. We'll see. But in the meantime, right now, if I have this 4 over here, I could play that for 4, then add 2. That would be a total of 4. Oh, +1 to your strike. Let's see what we can do. Oh, wait. I can put this out. So I'm going to put this down over here on this spot, because I know I actively... Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't care about that. Maybe I care about this one over here. If I care about this one, it would cost me 3. 1, 2, 3 to get there. And I only need that. I think that's fine. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're putting that one over there, which means we are going to discard this 4 as my active card. That's going to give us 4 points we can use. We're going to use the first point, plus our Hit It Harder ability, limit once per turn, apply +1 to your strike. That's going to be 1, +1 is 2. plus 2 from this one is going to be 4. That's going to take it out, leaving us 3 points left. Okay, so we're going to discard that card and this card, and we have 3 points left on our die. We're going to use that for our jump ability. Jump lets you move 2 spaces at the cost of 3 because you jump over intermediate spaces, and yes, you can move diagonally as well. So I'm going to effectively jump using my remaining 3 to go over here, and now that I'm on that spot, first of all, I ignore the red. I also get this mushroom, which I can go ahead and hold on to. What does that do for me? That's going to be 2 of something. I'll take a look what that is. Okay, and then we are going to also use our ability from this token to move up 1. Okay, that's going to be the climb 1 ability given to us by Savvy's token. So all in all, I did miss the downsides over here, which is pretty good. I'm not against missing the downsides. Downsides are bad after all. And then we are going to resolve the card. So the card is going to resolve. It's going to do all that. It's going to attack us and push. But because it misses us, it goes ahead and escalates in Fury, which is not necessarily the best. But I mean, it's good as far as we're concerned. And this token, by the way, is a strike. So it adds a strike X, which is 2. Okay, that was that player's turn. We're back to Savvy. We're going to reveal our next card. All vents. Oh, okay, fine. So we don't actually have enough of these tokens, but I don't think we'll need to because we can just look at the vents on the board. All vents are going to pop off around them, which is bad. That's bad, bad, bad. But again, this can happen in step 3. This person is near event. This person is not near event. Okay, so they're fine. They're fine as far as the event goes, so we're only really concerned about them. So let's see what we can do. We want to try to get up as much as possible. We do want to spend a red card because I can go straight through the vents, which makes sense. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to head all the way up over here. It's going to be a pretty straightforward turn. We could use Joyride to jump 2 forward. Do I want to do that right now? I think I want to keep my hand in check. Or do I? Or do I? We could. I think I want to head up. I want to head up. So if we use our 4 right now, let's use this 4 right over here. Okay. So we're going to use our 4 and go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to bring us up 4 so far, I think. Unless I use Joyride to get there, I could do that. So we're going to use Farseer Cudgel. Okay, Farseer Cudgel is going to give us 4 movement, and we're going to go 1, grab the mushroom token, which is going to give us that over here. Reduce our I think this is, what is this one? This is ignore this. Oh, ignore the effect when striking once. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then is that, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. That sort of works. And then we can go forward 2 on this, which I don't know if that's enough. Because let's just jump 2 over there. You know, any of those spaces. So I could get to this one up here. And I could still avoid the damage of it, which is not bad. But I want to go 1 more. Oh, we're supposed to drop his cards, which could matter because this can help us on other players as well. Any climber may climb 1. Oh, that's useful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop over there. Okay, so we are going to end up on that spot right now. That's where we end up this turn. But also we pass through this, and because of that, we can discard this token back to the supply. We don't even know what it was, which is fine, but we managed to lower the air vent, and we're also far away from an air vent. So everything's going great in that sense. We are only using this card. Now we also use Joyride. So we use 2 cards, which means we're going to be drawing 2. We need to be a little bit mindful of our card economy before we fall back down onto a salvageable space. Okay, that's going to be these. Technically, we're supposed to resolve the event first. All events pop off. No one is near event, so we are safe. And then we go to our draw to 3, which we did. And now we're back to their turn. But before we do, we need to go ahead and shuffle up a new threat row. So we're going to move this marker along 1, and that means we're going to we're going to enrage the leftmost card. So we're going to shuffle this up, deal it a new threat row, and then enrage the leftmost card, which means flipping it to the upside down. The cards are going to get harder as we go through things. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to flip this one over here. So we are flipping it to its enraged side. So it's no longer on this side. It's now on this side. And it's going to do all its bad things. So it's going to do Fury 1 and active and the next, which means both of these climbers, the active climber and the next climber, are going to move this over 1. That's usually the bad one because you can't really stop that one from happening. So it's bad. That's why I would say it's bad. Anyways, it's on to Mage's turn. Mage's is near a die over here. Let's see if we can take it out. Also, if we can set ourselves up to deal with the Fury next turn, that'd be great as well. We do have that 5, but we really, we have this player's turn, and I think we are going to put it on this because I think it just makes sense to do that. Alright, so we're putting on that spot, which will help us out. And then we need 4 to get rid of that. We need 4 to do that. And what can we do? What can we do? If we need 4, if I go 1, 2, 3, I guess. Okay, so I think that kind of works. We're going to use this one over here. Yeah, because I want to save that for later. Okay, we're going to use this one over here. And we're going to use the first point to move 1, the second point to move 2, okay? And then the third point to hit it. But we're also going to go ahead and use, so we have, our third point is being used to hit it, that's +1, +2, because hit it harder, and then we're going to discard this card to do +3 and 4. It adds +1 by default, and it adds 1 arcane, which means we flip this downwards to add +2 instead. That's going to be a total of 4. Do I want to do that? You know what? Almost. I think we're actually going to add 2 arcane tokens, and we're going to save our last point over here. No, because I think we need to... No, we could do it. We could spend 0 AP on strike 0. So we're adding 3 from this and 1 from this for strike 4, and that leaves us with 1 movement point. And we also still have this spot as well. So we're going to be able to go 1-2 at the end of our turn. So we're not going to hit the vent, but we are going to set up for that over there. So I think that's good. We got that done. We killed it. That's another gem gone, another crystal gone. We're managing that. And we're going to go 1-2 at the end of our turn, 1 from the remaining AP, and 1 from this token, which is going to once again return. Okay, that is as far as that goes. We're setting up to get this one in the corner, which I think works well, because we'll draw cards. Oh, we're going to fall. We have to be very careful. Next turn is going to be critical for us. Okay, we got that 5. That's useful. Oh, this is supposed to go off. Okay, we have to do this. Fury 1, so we're going to add a token to the supply, and then every player is going to accelerate that by 1, which is really not good. I'm a little worried about where they are. If they fall here, we're fine. If we try to get here, we might be in tough water. We might be in hot water. We have to take a look and see, because falling down here, while not the end of the world, certainly not the best either. So, with that said, we are now on to Savvy's turn. Savvy's going to... Oh, Savvy can use this to make life a little easier. We'll have to do some math. We'll have to count. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and flip this over. The active climber himself is going to... oh, that's not good. That's not good. It's going to push him. Okay. That's not great. Because as soon as we fall into empty space, basically when we fall into empty space, we're immediately going to keep falling down until we hit a ground point. This is in discard. So that's not great either. So we need to be very mindful to not get hit by this, but I don't think we necessarily have a choice unless we pivot our plans, which, I mean, honestly, part of this game is pivoting your plans, so we shall see. There's a few ways you can fall. You can fall when your deck runs out of grip over here. You can also fall when you just choose to drop, and you fall when you hit open space. And if I'm up here and I get pushed that way, I'm going to hit open space. So I need to be very, very careful to not hit open space as much as possible. Okay, with that said, we are going to try to take that out, but can we? Because I need too much. I need 5 to take that out. Do I have a +1 strike? Any climber may climb 1. That's useful there. Strike 2, that's great. Any climber may gain. Place the farce token in any space. Any climber may gain 1. I'm not seeing a way to easily take that out, which means it might be time to pivot, because this affects the left 2 columns over here. So right now it's going to affect here, 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 and here, but not there. So I might just pivot to go deal with this crystal, which feels a little bit not the best, but it might be the right move given the current board state. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so we have to get there, which is the tricky part. We could do this. Oh, at the end of our turn, we're supposed to refresh one of these, by the way. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I need those crystals for him. I'm trying to do too much. All right. We are going to move here, and we're just not going to actually do anything just yet, which I think I am fine with, he says tentatively. To that end, we will go 1, 2, 3, 4 down onto it. That way we can get this mushroom along the way. That means we need to spend a yellow card. We're going to spend hidden paths over here. We're going to drop that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, picking up the mushroom. That gives us 1 to ignore one of those. And we are now on the spot with the crystal where we can help it next turn. It also is not a bad place to fall either. You're only falling to here, which is really not the worst as far as things go. Or we can try to pivot to go here and fall to there, which is another option as far as things go. If we had a grip card, there's some cards that let you grip yourself mid-air, like doing a fall, to break a fall basically. When you get those cards in the right moment, they can be very helpful. But I think that's all we're going to do. We're not going to do too much. I tried to set myself up for a decent amount of success. It'll be next turn. We're going to draw a card. We are not yet out of grip. As soon as we draw this card, we're out of grip. And it doesn't look like I have any of the cards that will let me grab grip. But we should place this down somewhere. So let's figure out where this is going. I think it can help him over here. So I'm going to place it on this spot over there, because that will help him move up to here pretty easily while grabbing the mushroom and minimizing his cost to the turn. Even though it doesn't actually, unless I go there, I could put it here. This is actually not the worst, because then I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you know what? Let's place it over here. We're going to place it there, so we can ignore the grip loss. Okay, with that said, we can place the mushrooms here. That's there. We are now going to resolve this. This resolves, nothing goes off, it misses because I'm too far out of the range of the original space, and we can move that from the board. And now we go to the next turn, we drew off the 3, we just go to the next turn. Closest to event is going to take an injury. That could be either one, we'll see who takes the injury soon, but we're just not going to worry about it yet because we're not into step 3. We're going to activate the climber. So right now, they're going to spend a card, and I think we're going to be spending this 5, if I'm not mistaken. I might change that to the 4, so again, just bear with me as I math everything out. We're going to spend our 1 to go over here and take this mushroom, which is great, okay? Then we're going to go 2 to move up here, where we're now on this token. We could avoid the negative downside. We still have 3 left. We have 3 left, which is why I might, change the card. Then we're going to spend our Arcane Blast over here. We're going to spend Arcane Blast, as well as flipping over 2 Arcane tokens. That's going to let us do a 2 strike at range 2. Range 2. Oh my gosh. I didn't even need to go there. So we're going to leave this here. We're going to leave this here because I see no reason not to do that. Okay. Yeah, so we're playing this card. So we went 1, not even going to 2. We're going to play we still have 4 action points left. We are using Arcane Blast with 2 Arcane tokens to do a strike 2 at range 2. And we're doing Hit It Harder to apply +1 to our strike, limit once per turn. That means we get to do a 3 strike at range 2, which is insane. I love it. We are going to unfortunately have to move this along because we are hitting that crystal over there. We still have 4 actions left. We are going to... We could just go this way. I see no reason not to. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we passed through red, but we played a red card, so we can safely do that. We technically still have a +1 movement from this, which is why I'm going to, again, just swap out this 5 for this 4, which still gives us the 4 movement. And that's going to allow us to do 4 and end over here. And I think that is something that I am fine with. I think I'm fine with that. So we're going to do that, and we use this for that. And math all checked out. At least I'm 99% sure it did. Feel free to call me on it in the comments down below. That's going to be our turn. We are then going to resolve the threat. The closest to event is technically they're equidistant, so we get to pick which one gets the injury. I will say that we're going to have him pick the injury again, because sometimes it targets active climber, and this way it won't have an effect, although that was last time. After you rest, lose 2 grip, then remove this injury. Okay, not the worst, not the best. But right now we resolve the threat. We do Fury 1 over here, which that part we have to be very careful with. We did pass through events, so we can actually take one off. We can take one off. I forgot about that. That's great. Okay, so we took one off by passing through the vent, and then we are done. We are going to draw up. Now we do have to rest to get our cards back. We don't just shuffle our deck. We have to take a rest action, and you have to take a rest action on one of these little platforms over here. You can't just take one magically. You have to be somewhere where you can rest. You can't be like, I'm holding on for dear life and I rest. You find somewhere to sit on the giant Minotaur's back. Anyways, that was Magus' turn. He's not dealing with a full deck right now, which can happen. At the end of his turn, we refresh one of these, and then we do back to Savvy. Savvy is trying to figure this out. We are managing things well, but again, keep in mind, these are slowly closing the gaps. We can heal our health. We can't do much about this over here. So it's Savvy's turn. I think we said Savvy is almost certainly going to fall next turn, so as long as he can get to here, we should be fine to make progress. So to that end, if I go 1, 2, if I go 1, 2 down here, then 3, 4, that could be useful. I don't want to lose my grip mid-turn. I'd rather take damage. So let's see if I can figure this out. Taking damage is doable. If I play Radiance over here, Radiance will go 1, 2, 3, 4. That will get me there with Radiance. Is that enough? Is that enough? I don't love it. I really want one more. Any climber may gain 1. Any climber may gain 1 and anchor. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's not bad. Anchoring is very, very helpful. That's the thing I mentioned earlier, where falling at the right time is actually not the worst. But that's a big deal as far as timing goes. I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and just go across that gap. I'm going to remove a Fury token, which can be helpful. But I don't think there's much... Wait, what am I doing? I didn't take this out yet. So put that back. I'm still on this space. So if I spend my 4, I can just take that out. I think that's the thing to do. So I think I'm going to spend my 4 and just take that out right now because I'm in the spot right now. I don't want to get back to it. So we're going to spend the 4. We're going to take this out. We're going to use this to avoid taking the chill from that. So that mushroom's gone and a crystal is gone. Okay, so that's my turn. It's not the worst because at the end of my turn, I'm going to fall and I'm going to fall down to here, which means I'm going to take a damage as I pass through there, which I believe I took the damage as I passed through there. So no, I don't think I did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I took a damage twice, but I'm just going to take it a third time if I need to. But that means I will fall through here, which I don't love, but I think it's better than any other option. So be it. Okay, I am going to, at the end of my turn, we're going to resolve the threat. Oh, I didn't reveal this threat. All vents are going to be going off. Good to know. That won't actually hurt me right now. That's good timing. Okay. So all vents are going to be going off, but we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to activate Climber, resolve the threat. All the vents... Oh, I'm in this space. Before I fall, we do resolve the threat. So I will lose a grip right now. Is there any better option? I could just choose to fall. No, so yeah, at any point in your turn, you can choose to fall. So I'm going to choose to fall to avoid that happening. I will pass through here, taking that damage. So I'm going to take that. Hopefully I'm tracking that well. And then that's fine. Okay, great. Because at any point, a free action is choosing to fall, just letting go. That way the vent pops off, no problem. I then draw this, and I would technically fall now, but it doesn't matter because I'm already on a platform. Okay. That is that. We go back to Mage's turn. Mage is going to reveal this. We're going to be revealing all Fury tokens at the end of this turn, which is 2 of those. Which is not great. It could be worse, but 2's not the best either. So, it is our turn. We want to get up there, but also we first need to heal. That's kind of the main thing we need to do. It takes 2 points to rest, and we're going to shuffle all the cards except for the card we actually spend to rest. I think this might be a kind of lame turn, but I think we're going to do this over here to rest. So that card is going to go into our discard pile, and that's going to be our 3 action points. Oh, that card protects us from everything. That's a little insane. It protects us from all the bad stuff, but only 3 action points. Okay, we are going to spend that, and then we are going to just move up the totem pole. Do we have any Climber tokens? We don't. I could do that to do that. No, that's fine. Maybe. Oh, we have this. So let's put this over here, okay, in that spot, because that'll help us. We shuffle this up. We rest over here, and then we don't draw yet. It's just we now have a new deck over there, our new grip. And we still have 1 action point left, so we're going to move on to this, which is going to let us move to there with our 1 action point, and we could ignore the bad thingy. And anything else we can do? I could spend this to have us move 1, which will give us a free strike out of it because we get 1 strike per turn, but I don't think that's worthwhile. I don't think it's worth it right now. So we are not going to do it. Okay, that is fine. Oh, we have focus over here, which I didn't give ourselves the focus tokens. We have focus tokens. I apologize for this. I never gave myself the focus tokens. You add +1 to something you're doing, which can be very helpful, but you need to actually get something that lets you focus them, which is not super common, but they do exist. Okay, that is that, and we can spend this to focus, but I'm not gonna, let's go ahead and spend that. We'll focus this. This is as +1 to any of our cards. But I think that's all we're going to do. It's going to be a kind of lame turn, but we set ourselves up for success. This is going to pop off right now. Anyone in a bad situation? I don't think so. So we're going to reveal these. We got that one, which is going to be everyone's going to lose a health. And then that one, everyone's going to lose a grip. So this player has no deck right now, so there's nothing to lose as far as grip. This player is going to lose 1, and it's going to drop off. And both players lost a health. So we are down to 5 dice left. We are closing the board. We are definitely closing the gap over here and here. We can spend action points to heal, which is certainly not the worst. But at the end of Magus' turn, we're going to draw up 2 cards and see what we can do. Okay. It is back to... Oh, no, now it's this turn. Now it's this thingy. Now we shuffle these up, divvy them out, and then flip over the leftmost unenraged card. So we're going to do this. And place them out. 1, 2, 3. We got our scary one over there. And then we're going to flip over this one. Oh, look at that. That's actually not bad at all. Those popping off 2 in a row is beautiful. Oh, well, except the scary version of it is Fury 1, reveal active Fury. So technically, these get shuffled up over here, but it is going to add one first, so you can't avoid it totally. But still, it's still the best time to have it happen. So I'm pretty happy with that. Back to Savi's turn. Savi is over here right now. He fell down. He needs to both recover his actual deck to be able to get more cards in play. I think that any player may gain one. Any climber may gain one. Both of those are just gaining one options. You know what? Let's discard those now. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to discard both of those, okay, in order to get our grip back. So we're going to go 1, 2 over there, okay? And then that's going to give us 2 health back. And then we're going to use our 3 for our action points, of which we could just do 3. We could just do, we could just do 3 by, I mean healing. We could do 2 healing, but I don't know if we need to do 2 healing yet. So let's not worry about that just yet. Let's go 1, 2, and then 1 healing. Okay, that's going to be that. Healing you don't need to be on a platform for. Okay, that's not a bad turn. We start ourselves with success, and did I just do 1, 2, and 1 healing? That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do, 1 movement. Let's take back that healing. And then we're going to re-rest it over here. We spent 2 points to actually rest. That was meant to do. So I took back that healing and the extra movement to make this math work out. This card goes to our discard pile, and we have our grip back. So we're going to now resolve this. So we are going to draw 1 token over here, and everyone's going to lose a health. So just be a little careful, guys. I think 2 of those tokens are the health ones, if I'm not mistaken. So it is more likely that they're going to come out. Okay, and then we're going to draw up to our hand size, which is always 3, by the way, which should be evident at this point in the playthrough. And then we are going to flip this next card to see what's going to happen on their turn. All vents are going to be popping off. Okay, well, we're not going to be near event, and we're not near event, so that's totally fine as far as the events go. Oh, there's an event over here. There's an event over here, which I may have missed at the earlier point in the game. Sorry about that. They are thematically matched to the color little spirals, but all right, we have them right now. They want to take that out. They do want to do so ideally as fast as possible. Our highest color over here, we do have this 5. We have strike 2 at range 2. That's not bad either. I think that's not bad. So, and we should have 1 more of these from last turn. Okay, because you refresh 1 at the end of each turn. So if we combine a strike 2, I'm worried about all this stuff. We got this guy and this guy, which is a lot to deal with. But I think we got this. I'm feeling pretty confident. We're going to use our strike 2. But we're going to use 1 arcane to make it strike 2 at range 1. Then we're going to add the strike 2. No, that's not an add. That's just a strike 2 on its own. We can't do that. Never mind. So we are going to move 1. We're just going to play this card over here. Play 1. So it's yellow. Oh, we have to do this freaking action token. We're going to put this action token over here. Over here. Great. On that. I don't think it matters. But we are going to pop. We're going to spend 5. We're going to go up 1. That's going to bring it down to 4. Oh, interesting. I think we're going to put it on the space itself, actually. I think that works for us. All right, so we're going to put it on the space itself. So then we're going to be able to discard it to climb 1. Then we're going to use 5 plus our 1 to hit this token and just destroy that. We're just going to take out that crystal. And then this over here is, this one over here is going to be yellow, so we won't have to worry about the grip cost because we have the grip defense. So that's that. That's, another crystal done. Another crystal healed. That's our 5. We could still spend this over here. So we haven't used any arcane tokens. Using those arcane tokens is not the worst, actually. So if I use 2 arcane tokens, I can blink directly over here, which I think sets me up fairly nicely. So I'm going to flip my 2 arcane tokens over here, and I'm going to blink directly from 1, 2, 3, directly, just skipping straight across over there. And again, my action token card was yellow this round, which means I can ignore that. So that's a good little combo to blink over there. I'm very happy with that. Because then I have this 5 over here, which means I can insta-kill it next turn. But I'm going to end my turn. We have to discard this card. We flip my 2 arcane tokens. We go to the activate climber. We go to the all vents. Oh. That's the downside of that. You know what? I think it's worth it. I think it's still worth it. Do I think it's worth it? I think it's not worth it. We're going to undo that last play. So we're going to stay where we were. We're going to have these 2 flipped over. And we're going to stay over here. Okay, we're going to do that next turn instead. which will make more sense, will be better off for us. But, so we're staying over here. This vent pops off. All the vents pop off. Everyone does damage around the vents. Not really relevant. And that's going to be the card. Then he refreshes one of these and then draws up to his hand size. Okay. That is done. Then we are going to move to Savi's turn. Savi's going to flip this over. And we're going to pop this one down. So Savi needs to move out of that spot very quickly if you don't want to be affected by it, which this one moves up one and then over. So as long as I'm on this row over here, I should be fine, which I think I will be. The tricky part is there's two of these, and I don't want to deal with both of those, so we'll have to figure that out. I think I care more about damage right now. This 5 over here, this ascend over here, this could be very helpful towards skipping a bunch of things, because I can go up 1 and over. I can go straight here with that. No, I can go 1, 2. I can go pop over there, which is really not bad at all. I'll lose a grip, but I think it's well worth it for what I get out of it. Yeah, so I'm going to use this to basically flight. I'm going to ascend. I'm going to go 1, 2 up to there. I'm going to lose a grip, which is not the best, but I'm now out of the range of this, and I haven't even played a card yet, so I can play... Yeah, I'm going to play Hidden Paths as my card of choice, and I'm going to move 1 and then use 3 to strike that. So, oh, and because I'm playing this as my card of choice, I don't take the grip. So this goes back to my pile over there. So I'm actually fine. Okay, that's my card of action. That's my action card, my action point, and this is my ability. And I just took out that crystal. So we are fine as far as that goes. Do I have a card that'll let me secure? I don't right now, but it's somewhere in my deck. Yeah, because if the card lets me secure, I can walk over and then just drop directly to here. The other option is I can just drop over here and then walk my way up here, which is a possibility. It might be better. Basically, moving to open space is the danger zone. You need to be careful. This is now going to pop off, going, and then this is going to generate a Fury token onto that card, and this comes off the board, and it's now back to Magus' turn. Magus is going to flip this over, and we have Fury 1 and Active and Next are both going to have their, again, that's the slow timer on the game. That's why the harder you start, the faster these things are happening in a negative way for you. And then we're going to draw up our cards. Please give us the secure one. Give me the secure one. Nope, none of the secure ones. Okay, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is fine, because we're still doing great on time. Over here, we are going to now pop off Magus. Magus is going to spend 2 of these tokens to straight up blink across the chasm directly to the spot. Do I have a specific card I want to play? I think I'm just going to have to lose the grip, and that's fine. I think I'm fine losing the grip. So I'm going to lose the grip because I'm on a yellow spot. That's the trade-off from last turn. Was it damage or grip? Which did I prefer to lose? Then we're going to use our 4 over here, this 4, combined with this, and our +1 strike means we're going to take this off the board, completely eliminating that crystal, and more importantly, because we have this, we will not take any of that cold snap damage there. So that's done. We also use blink. We have to remember to do that, and we have these cards over here, which is any climber may climb 1. I don't think I need that, so I think we are fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. We're going to activate this over here, so both climbers are going to move this down 1, and then this is going to pop onto this spot over there. Okay, that is fine. We're going to draw up to our hand size. We have 2 dice left, 2 crystals left to take out on this beast, and then we should be fine. Secure. Okay. So, back to Savi's turn. We're going to see what's coming next. We have closest event is going to take an injury. Oh, I forgot to do this. After you rest, lose 2 grip, then remove this injury. So we actually have 2 more cards that should be lost from this pile because I never actually applied this injury from earlier, the weary injury. I remember that because we have another injury coming our way. That's why. Closest to event is going to happen to, which may well target Magus, which I don't love because I want Magus to really be able to take out that. I can lose my grip. Oh, yeah, cool. Then it is Savi's turn. Savi is trying to get over here and figure out the fastest way to there. Fast way 1 is you simply drop down and you just go all the way here. I think gliding might be going down here. If you fall all the way down, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think falling is actually the fastest way to do it at the moment. It means we won't get to this turn, but we will be set up to do it next turn. So I think that is worth it. We only have 2 cards over here, so if we do it now, if we fall now and get close enough to next turn, I think we should be fine. Although, honestly, you can possibly... We should have refreshed one of these at the end of Magus' turn. And falling right now for Magus is not the worst. This is the time to fall. Although you would take damage and grip loss along the... Well, grip no, but you would take damage along the way. Let's play this out. I think we will have you spend... Well, no, let's start with basic. We're going to fall. We're just going to go... We're going to lose a grip because of this over here. And now we are on the ground floor. We actually are not going to lose a grip because we're going to spend this as our action card of choice for the turn. So we're going to slide all the way down over there. Then we are going to move. We now have 4 action points to spend. We're going to go 1, 2, and I may as well play it safe and just rest with our remaining 2 points. Yeah, I think I'll do that. We'll rest. That way we spend these over here. We'll first do any climber may gain a health. We'll give it to them. Okay, because if we're going to rest, may as well do this right now. And then climb 1 and strike 1 is not going to help me. And yeah, we'll just leave it over here. Okay, great. We are going to rest. This one's going to go in discard, but these ones are going to shuffle back into our deck over here. So we're going to shuffle these up. And I think that's Savvy's turn, which means Savvy's only other this choice or decision right now is to try to make sure that we're set up as much as possible success with Magus. To that end, we are going to... I'm just trying to math this out over here. All right, we're going to activate this card over here. Closest event takes an injury. That's going to Magus over there. And then we have to gather the injury card. We have Paranoid. You cannot choose other climbers for any climber effect. Remove this injury if another climber chooses you for any climber effect. Cool, I like that one. Then we are going to add a Fury token over here because of the Fury one. And then we're going to shuffle this up and deal out a new card row before we go to Magus's turn. And we have to put out our token as well because we always forget that part. So let's actually draw some cards and place out our token. We're going to draw some cards over here. We're going to place out this token, I think, on here. Because I think I actually want to go onto there. I'm not sure. I could just fall. You know what? You know what? We're going to put it down over here. We'll just take the damage. It's fine. I think that buys us the most economy. Okay. We are going to shuffle this and then deal out new cards. So we have, we have the bad one starting first. Great. And then we're going to do this and this. So we might actually get our Fury one right away, which is not, well, it's right away. Okay. We are going to simply fall, I think. We're not going to worry about anything else. We'll have the bad stuff happen. That's fine. We can afford it right now. Even if we lose 2 health, we should be mostly fine, probably. We shall see. We are going to have Magus drop down, but Magus is going to be using this card. So this is going to be his action card for the round, and then he's simply going to drop down over here. That means he's going to ignore that damage because he's using that, and then he's on this spot over here. He fell onto a platform, and then he can use this token to move 1 down here, which means now he can spend his 1 movement to jump over here. Then he's going to lose a grip. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. We're over here. Because if we are on this, we will then currently, if we lose our grip, we fall right now. So where were we? We were currently over here. So when we fell here, and we have this token here, and we still haven't spent any points yet, I think what we can do is we can spend our first 2 points to rest, which is not what I want to do, but it is what I think I need to do. So we are going to spend our first 2 points to rest and put this deck back over here. And then we have 3 points remaining. We're going to use our free movement to move over here. And we still have 3 points remaining. So we're down here. We have 2 points remaining. So now what we're going to do is with our 2 points remaining and our +1 strike and secure applying +2 to our strike, that can be a strike 5, which will take this out. And then we go down 1 of those because it's the bad crystal. And I think that's good enough. We are on a spot where we're going to lose our grip. That's the whole reason we had to not do that. We couldn't afford to fall. And that falls there. And then we spent our 2 cards. And our turn is done. Why did I flip this over? I think I flipped this over when I'm supposed to flip it like that. I did that wrong. Okay, we're not going to get there anyway. That is our turn, which means we resolve end of turn effects. We're going to resolve these bad things. This is where he possibly could die. So let's see what happens. We got 1. So 1 damage, 1 damage. We got 1, which is grip, I believe. That's going to be, yeah, we all lose a grip. We got, nope, nothing that gets saved. And then we got that one. Ooh, we got lucky. If it had been either of these two, then he would be dead. Again, I think we can do it either way, because I think they can finish it on their turn, but we came close to one climber dying. I'm not going to bother with the tokens right now, because it is about to be over. We should draw up our hand over here. And then we can go now to our next turn, seeing the next bad thing is going to happen, which won't actually matter. Oh, I lied, sorry. Fury 1. We have to add Fury 1. So let's go ahead and add the worst one, because why not? That's going to reduce down to there, and crossing there, which means he is now dead. In theory, if we wanted to be a bit more careful, we could have used our +1 from this to use towards the strike, meaning we could have flipped our focus and then used 1 for healing. So they could be alive, but you know what? You can't fix things that happened after the fact. So he's dead now. To be very clear, if it made the difference between winning and losing, I would fix it after the fact, but I'm not going to, because I'm winning either way. So our climber falls to the ground. He's unconscious. He'll be back next adventure. 2 hour turn over here. We should be able to do this just fine. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 effectively in order to do this. And so you might be thinking, well, I only have a 4. What can I do? Well, the answer is I'm going to use this as our action card, and then I'm going to use this over here on the strike. So this is going to give me climb 1 and strike 1. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to save my 2 action points. I'm going to climb 1 and strike 1, climb and strike, which reduces this to a 2, and then use my remaining 2, which reduces this to 0, and we successfully win. Once they're out, you have to do it that turn. Again, I could have probably prevented them from being out, but you have to do it that turn, which means I don't really care what this card is, because it's not going to trigger, and I just won the game. But it was close. It was close, which is the important part. That's why you don't ramp up the difficulty too much until you're really prepared to tackle everything. I don't think I played super conservatively. I could have been a little slower, maintaining my health a little bit more. I chose not to do that. My health over here, my health is the thing you can heal. And so I could have been more in control of my health to make sure that I took a bit more time. That's why, if you're thinking, how could you ramp up the difficulty if it's this close? The answer is make better choices, play a better game, and play more conservatively. Anyways, that's kind of a gameplay of Leviathan Wilds. I hope you enjoy that, which means it's time for my thoughts. I like it. I really like it. When I first played the prototype, first of all, the gameplay elements were different back then. But also, I only played the basic boss one time. Actually, I think I had the first 2 bosses. I think I played the first 2 bosses. That's all the prototype had at the time. Since then, I've had a chance to play a bunch more of these. And they all add small, little, interesting twists. Nothing too game-breaking, at least nothing I haven't encountered yet. But, they're fun little adjustments to the way... Oh, and there's all lengthwise ones as well. That, combined with the sheer variety of the way you can build your characters, because there's, 6 or 7 different characters. I think maybe 8 characters, combined with 10 different, I don't even know how many there are. There's a lot of different combinations of characters, and then the skill lines. And altogether, the mix and matching that you have really produces different combinations. Combined with the bosses, the Leviathans you're fighting against, really provides a nice degree of variety to the experience that is just fun to go through. I haven't played as all the character... I may have played as all the characters. I don't think I've played as all the character classes. I definitely haven't played as all the combinations of all the characters and classes. That's for sure. There's so many different ways to build things out. And the Leviathans, again, I for sure have the 17 Leviathans. I have not played this game 17 times yet, so I've not gone. The first Leviathan I've played several times by now, because I played it when I did the prototype. I played it when I first got this. I also showed the game to somebody else, so I played it the first time again. I think I played the first Leviathan 3 times. But... outside of that, there's a lot of variety to this experience. Now, the one thing I don't like is I don't like the mutation pack. The mutation pack is a crowdfunding extra. It might be available to buy separately, I don't know. But basically, this is something that enhances the difficulty. Now, I've only used it once. I have looked at a bunch of cards, but I've only used it once. But so far, it seems like it's almost more busy work. The thing it adds to the game doesn't feel like a natural challenge to me, at least, again, from the one I've played and from looking through the cards. It feels more like this just adds distractions to slow you down. So it makes the game harder, and it slows you down, but it doesn't do so in a way where I feel like I'm playing against a new Leviathan challenge. It feels like you're oh, every time you play a card, discard a card. That's not actually one of them, but that's an example. So and you're okay, well, now I'm just trying to figure out how to do the same amount of stuff with less. So yes, it does ramp up the challenge, but I don't love difficulty modification that just makes me feel more constrained as I play. I want to face a different challenge, so to speak. And there's a small line between a Leviathan that has different things you need to do and busy work. But, because effectively things you need to do is busy work. But I'd say thematically from this, I didn't love this. But the good news, at least for me, is I don't feel the need to add this because the game is difficult enough in general. Like, I frequently find it's close. Now, granted, again, I can play more conservatively, but I don't feel the need for that additional challenge quite so much as what this offers. And the rules very clearly say you shouldn't be adding this until you're really familiar with the game, and I think I'm familiar enough with the game at this point, but I just don't know if I like this kind of difficulty modification. So overall, I think it's a fun challenge. Plays well solo, plays well cooperatively. I have played at the real solo mode that they want you to, where you take 2 climbers and 1 deck. I just find it a little more fiddly, and I feel that each climber loses their identity. And different people have different thoughts about two-handing different characters. I enjoyed this challenge just fine, and I don't find it overwhelming. 3, I think I find overwhelming. 2 characters is pretty easy to go back and forth on, so I prefer this solo to their solo variant, or I guess mine is a solo variant. Their solo mode, you can play. I don't like it as much. I like regular solo, but I also like it cooperatively. I do find it's best at 2 players or solo. I think once you go higher, it's I don't know, it feels a little less collaborative, a little more messy. And it does need a decent amount of collaboration, especially as you try to wander around this beast and defeat all the various crystals in the way. But yeah, overall, I really like the game. I think it's very solid. I think my original rating was a 3.5. I think after having multiple plays of this, I'm bumping it up to a 4. I've enjoyed it more and more as I've gone through it. Small criticisms, but overall it's provided a very decent, challenging experience. I don't know if it's a forever game for me, but it's definitely a I want to play through more Leviathans before I get rid of it kind of game for me. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.